What's up, guys? This is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to do a CMA in FlexMLS or how to do a CMA in real estate in general. So before I get started, I'd just like to say a couple things. And that first thing is that everybody has a different way of doing a CMA, and that CMAs are more of an art than a science. I think a lot of people get freaked out by CMAs because they think that they're doing them wrong, or they think that they're not following some type of guideline. The main point is that you are doing a good job at establishing the best possible accurate analysis for a property, and that you're doing a better job than Zillow, and you're not just pulling numbers out of thin air. The criteria for a CMA is, number one, you want to focus on the location, and it's going to be within a 1 mile radius and or in the same subdivision, and ideally both. But if you have one within the same subdivision and maybe it's a mile out, that's okay. And if it's not in a subdivision and you need to find a comp, then a 1 mile radius will suffice. Also, you want to take in things like the school zones, maybe particular zoning that there is going on, and maybe if it's a unique feature as if it's next to a highway. Number two is going to be the size. Once you get the location nailed down, the next thing that you want to do is you want to start looking at that square footage. And the general rule of thumb is 20% or 20% is 20% up or 20% down. You never want to choose properties that are bigger than 20% in that variant. So for instance, if you had a 1,500 square foot home and you found a 2,000 square foot home when you were searching, you don't want to use that house. And you don't want to use the 1,800 square foot home either, because that's outside of 20%. And the same goes for down too. So the next thing is going to be the beds and the baths. And this is one that very few people take into consideration. And the bed and the bath ratio can really throw off the value of a home. So let's say you had a 3-bedroom and a 1-bath house, and then you had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Those are going to be totally different in value. So the next is you want to take into consideration a style. Maybe the outside has more curb appeal. Maybe the home is a Spanish colonial and you're trying to compare it to a Greek revival. You always want to take the style of the house and the floor plan into consideration. There's different floor plans and different styles that people are more likely to pay more for, and you can't compare a brick rancher with a more modern traditional style house, because obviously people are going to be willing to pay more for that. And the next is time. The general rule here is 6 months, and that's what appraisers use. Although if you don't have that many comparables to go off of, a lot of times you can pull back, you can go back in time a little bit, and if you find a really nice comparable, it may make sense to use that even if it's more than 6 months. So the first method I'm going to use, I call it the subdivision way, and our subject property in this case is going to be a 1,500 square foot rancher in average condition in the subdivision of Devon Park. And if you want to follow along, maybe you want to just use a random subdivision in your neighborhood and make up a nice little subject property in your mind, you can do that also. But I'm going to be using Devon Park in this scenario. So the first thing, if you ever get lost when you're doing a CMA, I just go ahead, I just hit quick search. Quick search is like the reset button for me in FlexMLS. If I ever just get lost, I just hit quick search. So obviously we go residential. Then the next thing, you want to look down to the left here. And like I said, this is going to be called the subdivision approach. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on the subdivision, and we're going to go ahead and put in Devon Park. Okay, and this is going to bring up a list of actives. When it says this 4 right here, that's going to be what is actively on the market. And once again, you don't want what's actively on the market, you want what is closed on the market. So we're going to go over here down to the status. We're going to go ahead and put in closed. And we're going to change this because this goes back a year, and we don't technically want a year. We want around 6, let's put in 5. Yeah, we want around 6 months time. So we have a list of 12 closed here. Let's make sure that, yep, these are all closed. And let's see here. Our subject property was a 1,500 square foot ranch in average conditions. So let's just go through here. And the first thing, we've got our location nailed down. We've got our subdivision nailed down. The next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to start sifting through these. You want to make the 20% rule. Just remember the 20% rule. So we want to go ahead and we want to start sifting through these numbers right here, the square footage. So we've got this one. This one looks within 20% of 1,500. We've got one that is pretty much is 1,500. We've got one right here. Got one right here. Okay, and that is pretty much it for the size comparison. Now, let's just say in our mind that the property that we also wanted to list was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So let's just go ahead and let's make sure that none of these have wonky bed to bath ratios. We've got a 2-2 here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take that one out. I don't think a 2-2 is really appropriate to be in here. That's just me. If you have a difference, if you think differently and you want to use that in your comparison approach, like I said, it's an art, not a science. That's just what I would do. So let's see. Let's go through here. The next thing that you want to do once you get your detailed list, what are we doing? Okay, we want to go to our selected. A lot of times you want to, okay, if you didn't see what I did there, I went through and I checked those little boxes right here, and it lets you sift through those numbers, and it lets you just, it pushes out everything else, and it just lets you go through what is selected. So I've got my selected comps here, and the next thing that I want to do is I want to go and check them out. Are they in average condition? Do they have weird floor plans? Is there any weird characteristic that makes them more expensive than the other ones? I can already see one here that looks like it's going to be an issue, and that's going to be this. There's one that's 269. There's 184 here. So let's just go through. And like I said, the subject property that I'm trying to compare is in average condition. So let's see. Average. This one, yeah, I would say this is an average condition. Average condition. Not quite as nice, but average condition. Okay, let's see here. This one has really bad photos. I don't know who took these photos. Okay, average condition. And then this one is an anomaly. I don't know really. Let's go through here and let's try and figure out why this one is priced at nearly $100,000 more than the other ones. Stylish. Okay, it says it has a 4,800 office structure and storage in the back. Private outside shower. Coastal influenced. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take that one out. But okay, so these are the comparables right here. So if you want to, you can go ahead and you could export these out into a CMA. But a lot of times when people ask me, or they're like, they call me up and they say, Teddy, what is the price of this property? I usually just send them these comparables, and then I call them back and I say something along the lines of, this is, this is my opinion of the property, and this is why. All of these other properties are within, 20% of the other your 1,500 square foot property. And if I had to say that your property is going to sell within these two numbers, and if they want to list, I will go tour the property. And if I can see the property in real life, usually I can get a really good estimate on what the exact price should be to list it. This, like I said, this CMA is done strictly almost like a bird's eye view from up top, and you really need to go take a look at the property before you actually start considering listing it. So let's just say that you don't have a subdivision for the property. So the next thing that I call is the draw a circle approach, and we're going to do let's just say the subject property is a 1,500 square foot ranch in average condition on Greenway Ave, and Greenway Ave is located right next to me, and I call this the draw a circle approach. So once again, you get lost in FlexMLS. You want to just go ahead, go up to quick search, do hit residential, and the first thing that I do is I just go to map right here, this little tab map, and I just find it bird's eye view, because usually when you have a property that's not in a subdivision, you're gonna have to do a lot more work anyway, and you can't really just use the subdivision approach. Let me see here. Okay, so let's just say Greenway Ave. Greenway Ave is literally located right behind me here. So what I'm going to do is say that the property is somewhere in here. I am just going to get out my little tool down here. There's a draw. You could do circle too. You could do that, but I typically don't use the circle. I use the draw a polygon. There's like a polygon you can use, but if you want to use a circle, that's fine too. And I just draw a circle around it. So once again, back to our criteria here, we've got a 1 mile radius around the property, or around a 1 mile, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to click closed right here. So we're going to close, and let's see how many we can actually bring up. Oh, okay, wow, we've got a lot here. So let's go through, and there's actually not that many comparables, so I'm just going to leave it at 1 year, and let's go to our list and see what's going on here. So we can go ahead and we can scratch out that one because it's not a brick rancher. Right here we have a nice little brick rancher that's within the standard deviation of 1,500 square foot. We've got another one here. We've got another one here, and no. That one looks like a brick rancher. We can use that one. That one's a little too small, and that's pretty much it. So we've got all of them here. We want to go ahead and we want to click selected, and let's go ahead and let's make sure, let's cut out, let's just say once again that these are 3-bedroom 2 baths, and we're going to go ahead and cut out the wonky 3-bedroom ones or anything weird like that. So ours has got a 3-bedroom 2 bath, and we're going to go ahead and let's throw out these ones. Go ahead and select them. So we've narrowed it down. Let's get this guy out of here. He's not within the 3-bedroom 2 bath range. Okay, so we've got 2 here. So once again, we did the same exact thing, but we just did the draw a circle comparison approach, and we have in between 171 and 155. If you want to export that into a really fancy CMA, you could do that. But once again, if I had a client who asked me to do a CMA on this, and he wanted me just to send him some quick comps, I would do that. And either that, or I would bring this to a listing presentation and kind of go through that same process that I use to get these comparables. I would say, you know, this is all within a 1 mile radius. These are both 3-bedroom 2 baths. They're within the 1,500 square foot range. Mr. Seller, this is what I believe your property would be worth, but I need to take a look at it in real life to see what good of condition it is. So we would also, once again, let's just take a look at the condition. Let's just say once again that it was an average. These are definitely average condition. Low water. This is total just average condition. No granite countertops, no stainless steel appliances. Nice little backyard. Nice curb appeal. Nothing extravagant. Average. That sounds kind of bad. But anyway, that's pretty much my video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out some of my other videos because I have tons of video on real estate. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.